All right, guys. I wanted to address something that I saw come across the Shine Docs page recently, and put a bit of a visual representation on a lesson, I guess, that I was taught a long, long time ago by an old mentor, old body shop guy, prepped old hot rods for shows and stuff like that, and was extremely knowledgeable. And when he talked about clarity and he talked about texture and stuff like that, he always related everything to a body of water. And recently, Steve had posted that most people don't understand the fact that they lack clarity. And it got me thinking about this old representation that I had always kept in my mind, and that is a body of water. Picture a lake. If your lake is murky and muddy, it's going to look something like this if it has texture. Texture being just orange peel. So poor clarity plus texture, it's going to look like this. You can get rid of your texture completely and your water is still murky. That's your clarity. So you can make it look better to where you can see through it a little bit, and it's going to look like this. The reality is, though, this looks like shit. And what a lot of people are doing with their heavy DA correction is they're making their water murky. And so the whole point behind using a rotary and cutting effectively and a whole bunch of other different methods about keeping solvents off of things at times is to increase the clarity as much as possible. And if you're picturing a body of water, you can have extremely clear water and texture and it looks great. And that would be something that looks like this. That looks a hell of a lot better than a flat panel that has a bunch of clarity issues and stuff. When he would say that we're chasing perfection in our water, he would be referencing the fact that we want a flat body of water, completely flat body of water that's crystal clear. None of those things have anything to do with gloss or anything like that. You can supplement with gloss type stuff, waxes, coatings, anything like that. And there's an argument to be made that your coating actually affects your clarity, and clarity is probably the number one most important thing to how things look visually. So the Shine Doc had stated, you're messing up your clarity and you guys don't even understand it, you don't know it. For me, I'm a visual learner, and these visual representations definitely helped me. And talking with this old timer about how we picture everything as a body of water definitely helped me, because I'd rather have texture with crystal clear water, something like this, than no texture with murky water, something like this, and then try to make that glossy, if that makes sense. So anytime I tackle a heavy correction, we're not talking just minor swirls on a soft GM paint or whatever. We're talking like heavy correction on something that I want to look very, very good. The number one most important thing to me is making sure I keep the panel temps down, and I'm making sure that I'm not making my water murky. Because at the end of the day, I don't want murky, shiny water. I want crystal clear water, even if that comes with some imperfections. You can hide some imperfections with crystal clear water a lot easier than you can with murky water. And so when you're all done with all of your correction, you have your crystal clear water. If you want to pull the texture off, that's when we get into show car stuff. You want crystal clear, just like crystal clear water, completely flat, no ripples in the water whatsoever. Then you get glass type reflections, mirror type reflections, something like this. When you get to that point, the only thing that you can do is add a very fractional amount of gloss to it. Wax is going to be better. It would be like changing the surface tension on water, as opposed to a coating with solids will actually add or subtract some of the clarity a lot of the times, especially depending on what type of solvents and stuff that are used. Those solvents can definitely affect the way the clear reacts to things, and affect your clarity. So when somebody that's very high level, like Steve, goes on a rant and says, you guys don't understand, you're fucking up your clarity or whatnot, maybe it's because you just don't know what you don't know. And for me, I'm a visual learner, so these visual type of things, like these pictures of water, have always kind of stuck with me. And so when I'm chasing things, I try to keep that in mind. Because the reality is when you mess up your clarity, you're not really going to know it, and you're not going to understand it unless somebody shows you or you have a comparison side by side. And that's after the swelling of the panel and stuff's gone down. So I hope this helps clear up a little bit for people of the difference between like clarity and gloss, and take that visual representation for any of you guys that are dumbasses like me and have to have a visual to learn stuff, and kind of run with it next time you're doing a paint correction. Hope it helps. If you got questions, let me know.